Okay, for my next project, my first painted guitars, I should have put a Floyd on this to start with, but I was just trying to paint. So I got a Floyd now. Also this decal, it was underneath, it was one of those, water decals you slide off. It hasn't stayed too good, so I'm fixing that too. And we're going to, I gotta carve this out. I'm gonna make a little shim for this thing, put that up there. And I think I'm gonna flush mount so just diving, no pullbacks. So it'll be easy switch. So I just gotta get my measurements right and everything. But anyway, there's the guitar. And we'll get it looking good. Remove the nut and this thing. Got this guy laying in there, kind of marked out where it's going. Right now I'm printing, it's good to have a 3D printer, because I'm printing a shim for the nut, so I can drop the locking nut in there. Like I said, I'm going to scrape this guy off and redo the headstock. I'll clear it, but I want to do all this work first before I get working on that. This decal was one of the water slide decals, didn't work out too well for me, so I print my own decals now. So anyway, that's the word. So right now I'm printing a template so I can line everything up. I got the lines on the guitar already, but this template will give me the two big holes I got to drill, because I'm just going to top mount this so I don't have to do the routing. So I just got to have this guy fit. I got to file a little bit of that weight off to get this down level. So I'm just using a file for right now and just taking this down a little bit, so I got it marked out with the tape so I don't damage everything else. So should be not too bad. So I got this little shim here. I'm gonna glue this down right there. That gives me the height I need for my locking nut. So we'll let that dry and I'll get working on this post down here. So I got it laid out. There's the center line of my studs that way. I just got to do the left and right, which I already got the center line marked. You can basically, you got this thing, and the center of those is the center of this thing. And then I got all the line. So I kind of got it all squared up, plus I squared it up off the frets. So that's gonna give me, and then I 3D printed this template to go there so I can mark my holes. So you can see the template right there, it fits. So next part is putting those things in, and then I gotta grind this out just a little bit to get this, because I'm just top mounting this, because I checked all the heights and everything already and it should work. And I got this thing mounted already, so it's a pretty easy mod. Okay, sorry about the noise, my air compressor's running in the background, but I got the studs in now, so I got to do a little bit of like grinding. I'm just going to use one of these guys, get a little bit out of that, and then drop the Floyd in. So it wasn't too big a job. You just got to make sure you get your post in right. So okay, I ground the inside of this out just a little bit. I just had to clear for the whammy bar and a little bit to the front, so all fits now. And I just measured it from the nut. It's all good. So this is a pretty easy mod. I did this all in one morning, so not a bad deal. So anyway, time to move on to the next step. I'm gonna polish out the guitar while I have it apart, and I gotta fix this. I gotta put a new decal on the top. Like I said earlier, the water slide didn't stay underneath, so I'm sanding this off. I'm gonna repaint it and put a new sticker on and clear it. I'm gonna put locking tuners on here, because I got another set sitting around. And these holes, both Kramers I bought, their holes are off. I didn't even notice it when I put this back together. Like I said, this was the first guitar I did painting wise, and I didn't even check those. But you can tell they're off a little bit. They're kind of, so I got to plug a couple holes and then reset them all. You can see here the holes are off. This one, you can see where I have the toothpicks all the way up the cord. That's where the hole was. They were quite a ways off. So I don't know how they're drilling them, but they just twisted them to fit. Okay, I'm going to re-drill these. What I'm going to do is fill most of these holes up just with a toothpick. A little bit of glue and a toothpick, and then I'll re-drill these holes, because these things, one's like this, and they're not a lot off, but it drives me crazy. I should have fixed this a long time ago, so I'm getting around to putting new tuners in, and I'll fix the holes. So I cut the toothpick in, I keep one of these nail files around. I cut it off with a set of dikes real close to the thing, and then you just take care of it with this. And what I do is I use this guy and I set all my dimensions, because you can go up the center lines off the front side. The center line hole to hole, it should be the same from pin to pin. Okay, I've got Floyd on now. I had to redo the headstock because that decal underneath the clear coat was bubbling up, so I had to kind of redo it. So what I did was I sanded the thing down, I kept most of the paint, and I had to just go over, I had to repaint the white in here a little bit, but then I covered the whole thing in new 2K, so it's buried, and I just made some decal. I'm going to put a decal for Kramer on top of the 2K, so if you ever want to change it, it's easy. So I made a little Kramer and a little star, so I'll put that on there. I'm going to put a string retainer bar on this thing. So there's I modified the neck to fit the floating nut, the locking nut. So I took care of the frets while I had this neck apart. So just a little bit, it needed a little bit. They were a little rough on the end, so I got this block here that just goes through and you get the edges cut down. And then I just touch it like this with and they're all pretty nice now. I had a couple of nicks in it, so I got rid of the nicks. So we're all good to go. So tomorrow I'll string this thing up. I'm going to put locking tuners on it. I'm just waiting for the 2K to clear a little longer. Give it another day before I mess around with it. But otherwise, everything looks good. So we'll get this thing working. This is just a cheap Floyd Rose copy, but it's actually it's pretty nice. I mean, the screws, I've taken all apart the screws and they don't strip out, and so keep fingers crossed. But it's the same setup as a Floyd, so if you ever need to change it, mostly this one's just a hanger for me. So this should be good enough for now. I wanted to just see if this wing works, so I got it in. Okay, I rewired it. I put a new pot in it. The other pot was giving me some trouble, so I rewired it. I put a ground to the copper foil right there. If you can see it, goes to there. And then what I did was too, I added in a kill switch while I had this opened up. So I know they didn't have these on there, but while I had it apart, I just thought I'd put it on there. So the Floyd's on, the nuts on, the bar's on, the new tuners are on, the headstock I repainted, put new decals on it. So I also put a trim stop in here. I like to use this nylon because it kind of bumps it a little softer. And what I do is I put some foam inside the springs, but I also put some foam on top. It keeps them from rattling. So once I put the cover down, it just squishes it all down.